I'll do, everybody. Just a quick thing from me on painting our Routemaster buses. So quite a few of you have been asking how on earth do you do these buses. So I'll quickly try and tell you. Well, it's bit by bit generally. So obviously the main panels are done individually, so one at a time. I know that's painstaking, but it's even more painstaking if you're going to have to tape off all the windows, etc. And yeah, it's not going to be very easy to do that. And then if you want detail like strips in different colours, then you have to do that again individually, panel by panel. So, and then there's detail like this particular one, the Southend Transport one, has the red square in there, which because it was the show bus, so that would all have to be masked off, you see, and then again the strips on like the wing side here, etc, etc. Round the wing again, it'd have to all be masked off. So it's all better if it's done part by part. And it's easy if you get the parts weekly, monthly, from like Agora Models perhaps. So if they come in a box and you get a month's worth of time, tennis shoes or something, then you simply like the roof panels, so that's one complete roof panel there that goes right over the top, so you'll get that in one pack, and then you'll be able to spray that in them whatever colours you wanted to. Same with the strips and the screws, and yeah, we do paint all the strips and the screws and the little parts as well individually. So I'm just going to quickly try and show you now how we do that. So on here on the table I've got like a demonstration board, but it's a board that I actually use for painting. So it's a thin board, wooden board, and I've simply masked it out with masking tape on the top of the board, just to protect it. Doesn't matter, just to keep them up from coming back up from the board to my paintwork. So the individual parts then, so you've got the strips like here and here. Okay, they're the strips. These are all dry, by the way, so don't worry. And these are the screws. So if I can get my camera to have a look down here at the screws. So what do I do with these then? Okay, well the screws are on double-sided sticky tape, and individually they're placed down, so the screw threads are all faced down onto the double-sided sticky tape, should I say, so that they actually stick down and the heads are facing upwards. I think you can see that. Okay, so obviously then, because it's only the heads that you need to spray really, so it makes sense that they're upwards. The strips, how do I do the strips? Well, the strips are sat on masking tape that is backwards rolled onto the sticky part. So instead of rolling the masking tape so it doesn't have no sticky on the outside, roll it so it's got sticky on the outside, and then stick it onto the board, and then you can stick the strips onto the backwards rolled masking tape. These are all loose now because I've loosened them all off because I've actually painted them. So I do that with the white ones and the blue ones, and you can tell that I've been using this board for a long time for painting bits, and so obviously it's a reusable board. You don't need to bother about taking the masking tape off behind it or anything. You can just reuse it. All you've got to do is put new bits of masking tape down, reverse so the stick is upwards, and new bits of double-sided sticky tape for the screws. So there is a couple of rows of screws going right up there, look. So and then the strips, so blue strips. So the panels, I do them separately. To explain how I do the panels, if you're looking for a single colour panel, that's quite easy. So you'd have to rub them down with some wet and dry, and it doesn't matter about the back because the backs won't be seen. So and then on the backs of them, stick some masking tape, some wide masking tape, and make yourself a little handle that goes on the back out of masking tape. Then you can hold the panel at the back of the panel and twist it in any direction you want, so long as you have a glove on the hand that's holding the panel. So the solid colour's easy. The duo colour, or in this case the blue and the white, is more difficult. So first of all we would paint it white once it's been sanded and it's been coated with some undercoat paint. So and you paint it all white, and in this instance we're following the natural strip on the side of the model. So, and that's marked out for us already by the screw holes, because the little strips go top and bottom of that strip, so it's quite easy to follow. So mask off rather carefully all the way along, and then I use some very thin 3M tape, which was specially bought from a company, forget which now, but it's very thin tape and it sticks very much. So to explain what I do, here's the rear destination panel. So it's got the hole in there for the destination above the rear entrance. So what we would do is we would paint the panel first white, and then tape off the blue strip where the blue strip needs to be, and then spray the blue strip over, then take all your tape off. And with a little look, if you've got these strips of tape very, very tight down to the panel, that paint won't bleed onto your panel. So this panel here is as I took the paint, as I took the tape off the panel, so, and as you can see, none of it's bled through. And if it does happen to bleed through a little bit onto the holes there where the strip goes, that's okay, because the strip is going to cover it, the white strips of course, in this instance. So that's basically how I spray models. It's all done with rattle cans. So first of all we have the metal primer from Plasticoat, and in this instance it's the white one. So I would spray the panels with the Plasticoat, let it dry thoroughly after it's been sanded with wet and dry of course, and then I would spray them over with the gloss coat, and the gloss coat I use is Sayers paints. Just move over here a minute to get a Sayers paints. There we go. Okay, let's put that down. Sayers paints of Northampton, and tell it's in my name. So this is actually the French blue that I'm using for the Southend Transport Routemaster. So Sayers paints of Northampton now, but specially mixed up. It's professional and custom filled aerosol, and it's down to a Mason's P type in 1K, and there's the British Standard number for the paint code, because you need a specific paint code for this specific model. So, and yeah, I just spray them, you know, using the manufacturer's however far apart it is, 12 centimeters or whatever it is. So yeah, and that's all I do, and then I just leave it to dry, and as you can tell it's pretty good, I suppose. Difficult to tell. Let's move that across there. So yeah, it's not bad, it covers pretty well, and obviously you can see that it's the right colour and everything, and yeah, we get a reasonable finish, which I'm happy with. I think you can see it glinting in the light there. So you have to be pretty careful not to overspray too much, because you can get too much on the panel, but with a little practice it's doable, and that's how you can paint your models. So panel by panel. Okay, I hope you found that useful. Technique and that, I'm not giving anything away that way. It's just a case of suck it and see, be very careful, and you know, trial and error is another word that I like to use. Trial and error with different paints or different styles as well, and the weather has a lot to do with it as well. So if you've got some nice warm weather, you can more or less guarantee that the paint is going to go far better than what it is if it's cold, damp weather. So yeah, that's how I do it, and yeah, and you'll be seeing shortly the finished article on my channel. I'm going on a couple of other people's channels first with some building, but you'll see the finished article of this bus very, very shortly, finished, all being well. So thanks for watching, and give us a big like, and we'll see you all again shortly. Bye bye now.